Hello there. I'm so excited to see you today. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing great wherever you are. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that today's video will challenge you to think creatively and courageously about making Africa better. After watching today's video, please consider doing any one or all of the following. Doing so will help me grow this channel into a larger family of people who care deeply about Africa. Number one, please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Number two, please like the video. Number three, share the video with friends, acquaintances, and family. Or number four, please leave comments or questions for me in the comment section here below. In today's video, I would like to ask a question, a very important question that we should always ask, a question that people who care about Africa or about any important issue, it's a question that we need to ask. So the question is, given what we know about Africa, given the problems that we know Africa and her people face, what are we doing about it? What are we doing to help make Africa better? So this is an important question. I feel it's very, very important because it focuses on us. It asks us, it forces us to think about we ourselves. It forces us to think about we as individuals who can do something, who should be doing something. So it's not about what other people can do. We all know that a lot of problems in Africa are, for the most part, caused by other people. We know the role of the West. We know the role of colonialism. We know the role of imperialism. We know the role of Western capitalism, and we know the role of our own politicians, our African politicians. We know the role of the government. The government has failed in many ways. So many governments in Africa have failed in many ways to address Africa's problems. So thinking about that, with that knowledge, it's very easy to think that solutions can only be provided by those other people. It's very easy to point fingers and accuse, for example, the politicians or the government and say, yeah, they caused the problems, so they should be the ones to find solutions to them. They should be the ones to solve the problems. So, and that's a very, it's important to do that, but it is disempowering. It doesn't allow you, or it doesn't allow us as individuals to take the problems head on. It doesn't leave us room for us to explore what we can do, to use our abilities to solve some of the problems. It's something that we should move away from. We should take ownership of some of the problems that are there. Yes, there's a role that the government needs to play. There's a role that politicians need to play, but it's not just them. It's not just about them. If we leave everything to them, then we are powerless for the most part. We are just bystanders. We are just onlookers. We can't do much. So change will happen in that case, or if we choose to go that direction, change will happen when the politician chooses to enact change, chooses to make changes. It's going to change. Change is going to come after the government changes its after governments changes their tack, after they become serious about making changes. But we as individuals can do something right now. We can always do something with our own abilities, with what we have, the kind of resources we have. So the question is very important. What are you doing? So I would like you to think about what you as an individual can do if you're not doing anything at all. And when you think about like problems that people in Africa face, try not to think about them as just one huge lump or one huge problem that that cannot be tackled. Many of the problems that Africa has can be maybe broken down into small bits. So you can just take a little bit, a little thing that you can do. So if it's poverty, you know that poverty is a huge problem in Africa. A lot of people live in poverty. A lot of people live on less than $1 a day. And this is the fact of life. The majority of people in rural areas, for example, live that way. You look at, if you went to a rural village and looked at how people lived, yeah, you can sympathize sometimes. Not that they want sympathy, but yeah, you look at how they are living and you know that, yeah, these people are needy. They need a better life. So it's a huge problem. But just think about this, as I said, as a problem that can be broken up into smaller bits, into smaller units. You can do something about it. It can be, for example, identifying maybe one person in the village and helping them. It doesn't need, or it shouldn't be just about money all the time. It can be sharing ideas with them, helping them, pointing them to maybe where to find solutions, where to find or maybe how to do better some of the things that they're doing in order to improve their lives, their livelihoods. So problems are many, and you can choose to tackle one, or you can do more than one at a time. So, but ideally, you should pick one and focus on it so that you are not overwhelmed. So, yeah, people are going to say they don't have money, and that's good. That's valid. That's a valid concern. Money is not something that everyone has. You can then start with yourself. So if you don't have enough money, and for example, you are living in the diaspora, you are living outside Africa, and you are able to find a job, you're able to make money. You can work on yourself, work on building your wealth first. I'm not saying that you spend maybe like your entire life or 3/4 of your life doing that. You can say, yeah, maybe within 10 years I'm doing ABCD for myself, and then when I have money, I've invested, and maybe that money is bringing out or is throwing off regular income. I can start using that. But another way is, as you do that, as you're building yourself, as you're building your wealth, you can also start like helping out people slowly. Notice that I'm saying it's not always about money. If it's money, find ways of helping that person you have identified improve their own earning capacity. So you can help them maybe 1 or 2 years, help them establish themselves. If it's a business they're starting, you help them start the business, offer ideas, offer them, point them to things that they can do to be successful. Point them to maybe what profitable businesses they can start. If it's farming, again, you can help someone grow their farming business. So again, you help them. You're going to need money at the beginning. Yes, you're going to help them improve their farming methods. You're going to help them maybe buy quality seeds. So that's going to be there. But it shouldn't just be about money. It should be about helping these people acquire more knowledge that can enable them do what they're doing better, help them become better farmers, help them establish or run successful businesses. And it shouldn't even just be about them. You can partner with them. You can partner with them if you feel that you probably want to be involved, directly involved in their businesses, and maybe gain from there as well. You could partner with them. You can talk to, you can identify someone that you can work with in that way. So another way is another way of helping is sharing your information. There's a lot of information out there that a lot of people in Africa don't have access to. They don't know about that knowledge, but it is there. And if they got if they had access to that information, yeah, they can vastly improve their lives. So if, for example, a lot of us, I work in an institution where we do a lot of research, and I know many people also do that. They work in an institution that is involved in doing research, or yeah, they have access, or maybe they themselves have actively participated in creating like knowledge or bodies of knowledge out there. So there is a lot of knowledge, and if you're in that field, or if you are involved in creating knowledge, creating and putting together bodies of knowledge, you shouldn't stop there. Like a lot of us have. We should go beyond that. It shouldn't just be about conducting research and writing academic papers. It should go beyond that. And going beyond that means identifying maybe one or two people in a village somewhere, or somewhere in Africa. It doesn't have to be a village, somewhere in Africa, and sharing with them that knowledge. You know who will benefit most from the knowledge that you are gathering. So you'll redirect that. You'll know who to look for. Because I know when we publish papers in academic journals, that's going to be only accessible to students who are interested. It's going to be accessible to colleagues who are interested. But for the most part, it doesn't reach the person on the ground. It might be information directed at government. Some people try to do that. They make recommendations for the government, but usually there are no recommendations for the common person. So try to find something in your research that can be applied or that can be passed on to the person on the ground, a person in the village, a person in a slum, who can use that information to help improve their livelihoods. Yeah, so there are many ways of helping. There are many ways of helping Africa. So don't just keep what you know to yourself. Don't just keep your resources, if you have them, to yourself. Share them and help other people in Africa improve their lives. So yeah, so there are lots of things that we can do, lots of things that people in the diaspora can do. We shouldn't use if you are living in the diaspora, or if you're in the diaspora, we shouldn't use our being away from Africa, our physical absence from Africa, we shouldn't use that as an excuse to not do anything. We can still do a lot. We can still help. So it can be sharing ideas. It can be funding someone, improve their agriculture, help funding them improve their businesses, or funding them start a business, or partnering with them, partnering with someone to someone in Africa to help improve, or to help maybe run a successful business, to help them run a successful agribusiness. Yeah, so there are opportunities, lots of opportunities out there. So, and I know a lot of people, especially those in the diaspora, send money to Africa. So it shouldn't just be, or it shouldn't always be about consumption. I know it's important. When you send money to Africa, you want that money to help people run the day-to-day activities. You want them to, or you're sending the money to fund the day-to-day expenditures. But it should be more than that. In addition to doing that, find ways of funding someone, of helping someone improve their lives, improve their earning capacity. So even amongst your relatives, there's got to be someone. I know a lot of people have trust issues, and I understand, and maybe this is something that I would like to talk about in one of my videos, one of my future videos, the issue of trust, and what a lot of people, or what some people have encountered based on what I've heard. There are a lot of trust issues. Like, some people send money, and that money is maybe not used the way it was meant to be used. So the money was misappropriated, the money was misused, and all that. So that's a big problem. But if you can find someone, so here I would suggest, like, casting your net wide. If maybe amongst your relatives you can find someone that you can trust, or someone dependable, you can find someone else. You can look maybe in the village. You can maybe find someone, and when you do this, you can start slowly. Gauge someone. Are these people going to be reliable? Are they showing signs of reliability? Are they showing signs of dependability? But and then the issue of trust, as I said, we are going to talk about it at some point. This is also something that you can help other people with. There are lots of problems, lots of trust issues, lots of lying, lots of corruption. There's a lot of shortcuts. That's a very, very common thing. It's something that has infected society in Kenya, for example. It's something that has infected a lot of people. It's not very easy to find someone who is who doesn't have like those problems. So again, that's something that we also need to work on, and sharing your ideas with these people, helping them grow, helping them see the importance of maybe telling the truth, the importance of being sincere, the importance of doing things the way they're supposed to do. I think that's also something that we can, something that people can help with. Not to say that people, or everyone who lives or who is in the diaspora is truthful or has strong positive values, and also not to say that people living on the continent, and maybe taking Kenya for example, people living in Kenya for example, It's not to say that all people who live in Kenya are not truthful, or they're not, or they don't have strong values, strong positive values. There are some in Africa who have those values, but yeah, again, they're not, they're not, it's not common to find them. So as Kenyans, as Africans, we need to find ways of, of sharing and of sharing ideas about how to create, say, people who value truth, people with strong values. We need to find ways of that, and you can contribute by talking to people. If it's corruption, you can talk to people about the ills, about the consequences of corruption. You can talk about that, and just impress upon them that it's not just the big person who is stealing millions who is corrupt. Tell them that you yourself can potentially be corrupt, like if you got if you got in a position that allows you to do that. So sharing them and telling them that corruption is wrong might help them see that. So maybe when in future they get those positions, they will remember what you told them and they'll try to do the right thing. Yeah, because there are problems, value problems that I think are bigger than a lot of people, that are way bigger than we always think about them. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort to, yeah, to solve them. So the earlier we begin, the better. So I would like to challenge you today to think about Africa. Pick one area, one problem to work with, to work on, and find ways of doing that in your own small way. Yeah, it can be sharing information, as I said. You can be sharing knowledge. It can be partnering with people in Africa if you know them. It can be it can be trying to improve or impart stronger values, stronger positive values to people, making them change or think or alter their thinking about issues in Africa, about corruption, about theft, and all that. So yeah, so what do you think? What are you doing? So going back to that, to the question I started, what are you doing? What are you personally doing? So don't think that you can't do anything. You can do something, and you don't have to start like you don't have to have a grand solution. You can start small, think small, start small, and you don't have to to remain small. You can always change. You can always grow. So start small on whatever issue it is, on whatever you have in mind. Start small and scale that up if that's necessary. Or you can remain small and help in your own small way. That is also good enough. And think creatively about how to make the ideas that you have accessible to many people, not just people in academia, not just people who already have access to library materials. So think about how to make your ideas or important ideas out there, how to make them accessible to many people who need them on the ground, the common man, the poor people. How do we get that information, that important information to them? Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your friends, with acquaintances, with family, and also don't forget to leave a comment. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.